Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech and this is the unboxing of the Vivo Y93 along with a quick hands-on review. So guys, this is the box and it's like any other Vivo phone. On the top left corner we have the Vivo branding. At the center we have a quick preview of how the phone looks like with the new water drop notch and a starry night black color. That's the same color which is available even for the Vivo V11 Pro. And at the bottom it says Vivo Y93, bigger memory, enjoy more. Now on the sides, once again, it simply says Vivo, IPL, official sponsor and all. And on the back, it says Made in India with some of the highlighting features like a Halo full view display, dual rear cameras and a bigger battery. And over here, we have the other specifications and IMEI numbers and other stuff. So this is how the box looks like. Now let's get on with the unboxing. This one is being sold both online and offline only in one variant with 4GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. It's priced at 14,000 rupees and it comes in two colors, Starry Night and Nebula Purple. And we have the Starry Night color. Now the box is open. So first we get a cardboard box. It even says Vivo at the top. So these are the contents. We get a SIM card ejector along with some documentation, which we are never going to read, followed by a soft silicone pouch. So these are the contents. Next we have some stickers, IMEI numbers and all. Following that is the phone itself, which I'll put it aside for now. Next we get the 10 watts power adapter. So no fast charging and this is just a regular charger. And at the end we get the regular micro USB charging cable. So here we go, this is a regular micro USB charging cable. And these are all the contents of the box. Now coming back to the phone, let me just slide it off. By the way, on the back we do get warning information, IMEI numbers and a quick preview of how the SIM card tray looks like. So guys, this is the phone and on the back we have the Starry Night black color and it does look really premium, especially for the price segment. And as you can see, it is attracting a lot of smudges as well. By the way, it is not glass, it is regular plastic but with a nice glossy paint job to it. A two-tone finish and as I've said earlier, does look quite premium. Now it also seems to be having a small camera bump to it and it does wobble a little, not much, and once you put on the case it shouldn't be a problem. Now coming back to the case, this is the free case that we get inside the box. Let me just put it on. Now this is how the phone looks with the case on. Camera module is now well protected with a slightly raised shim from the case and the fingerprint scanner is much more easily traceable because of this cutout. It has all the cutouts for all the ports. And you get this flap for the charging port which can help you a little with water protection. Even on the front it has a slightly raised lip, so even if you place your phone directly on its face, it's not gonna scratch the display. By the way guys, just like all the previous Vivo phones, even this phone comes with a free tempered glass pre-applied, which is something every other brand should definitely do. Anyway, now coming back to the phone, let's have a quick physical overview and then check out the specs. On the back, this phone is a complete plastic build with the super cool looking two-tone finish, Starry Night color. And at the top, we have the dual camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera with f2.2 aperture followed by a 2 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture. That's followed by a single LED flash, fingerprint scanner on the right side and Vivo branding at the bottom. Now on the front, this phone sports a massive 6.22-inch IPS display with HD plus resolution with the new water drop notch and 88% screen to body ratio. Inside the notch we have the regular sensors and an 8 megapixel front facing camera with f1.8 aperture, and above the notch it has the earpiece. At the top it is completely plain. On the right side it has a power and volume buttons made of plastic. They are sufficiently elevated and have a nice clicky feel to them. On the left side it has just the SIM card tray housing two nano SIM slots along with a dedicated SD card slot. At the bottom it has a 3.5mm audio jack followed by the primary microphone, micro USB charging port and a mono speaker. Now coming to the rest of the specifications, under the hood this phone sports a MediaTek Helio P22 processor with PowerVR GE8320 GPU with 4GB of RAM, 32GB of storage and with a massive 4000 mAh battery. It is running a custom skinned version of Android called FunTouch OS 4.5 based on Android 8.1 Oreo. Now with all this phone has a thickness of just 8.28 mm and weighs just 163 grams. Now without the case, phone is kinda slippery and yes, it's a fingerprint magnet, but it is pretty sleek and pretty comfortable to hold in a single hand and doesn't feel all that heavy either. Now I'm gonna turn on the phone and set it up and see what we get right out of the box. By the way guys, this phone sports a Helio P22 processor which is also seen on Redmi 6. if I'm right. So even that phone comes with a P22 processor. So these are all the languages that are supported. Most of the native Indian languages are available, just in case if you're wondering. You can also choose Telugu, Hindi, Tamil as well, and some other Indian languages. Let me just skip all this stuff. Now I'm going to register the fingerprint or my fingerprint. There's a nice haptic feedback. Not the best, but it's quite good. Now my fingerprint has been added. Now let's add the facial data as well. So guys, this is how the phone looks once we turn it on. This is our default launcher. Once again, there is no app drawer. So all these applications are thrown to the home screen. We can always install third-party launcher like Nova Launcher and get an app drawer. So that option is always there. Now let's check out the storage section. So for that, we need to go to settings and then select RAM and storage space. So out of that 32 gigabytes of storage, we get about 22.27 gigabytes of space for our user apps and user data, which is definitely more than sufficient, as this phone also comes with a dedicated SD card slot. Now coming to the RAM, out of that 4 gigabytes of RAM, we get about 2.5 gigabytes of RAM free out of the box. So that's the storage information. Now let's check out the about page. So as I've said earlier, this phone is running FunTouch OS version 4.5 based on Android 8.1.0, that's still Oreo. This phone might or might not get Android Pie, and even if it gets Android Pie, everything in the user interface will remain the same. So there's not going to be much change, just wish for security patches if they can provide that. So this is the software interface, this is the settings page. This phone comes with tons of features just like any other Vivo phone, and that's it. This is your default home screen, there is no app drawer, just like the iPhone. This is the notification area, we can swipe them. Well, that's pretty common. Now for notification toggles, you have to swipe on the bottom, just like the iOS. Control center, these are the notification toggles, and we can rearrange them as well. Now this is the interface for the rear-facing camera. Just like all the phones, you do get auto HDR even for this phone. And this is the toggle for portrait mode. Next we have moving picture mode, just like on the iPhone and even on the Pixel phones. Next we have video recording. We can record video up to 1080p, and this phone also has slow motion and time lapse. So just in case if you're wondering. Next we have face beauty. Even for the rear facing camera, you can adjust the level from here. I'll just go with 1 or 0. Next we have panorama, and finally professional mode and DOC, I guess. Now this is the interface for the front facing camera. For some reason, every time you switch to the front facing camera, it always takes you to beauty mode, and you can adjust the level from here. You also have AI beauty mode for the front facing camera, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Now this is the regular front facing camera without AI mode. From here you can enable or disable auto HDR. You also get portrait selfies, just enable this toggle. And you also get moving picture mode or live photo mode, even for the front facing camera. Next we have video recording. Once again, we can record video in 1080p even using the front facing camera. Now coming to the rest of the features, you get face beauty mode. Next we get group selfie to take a panorama shot using the front facing camera, which simply takes a wider selfie. So that's the preview, and it does stitch it really well. So that's the camera interface. Now these are some sample pictures taken using the front and rear cameras. So guys, now let's test the fingerprint scanner and face unlock features. I've already set up the fingerprint scanner, so here's a quick test. There's no haptic feedback even when I'm using the right fingerprint, which is something I really miss on many phones. But fingerprint scanner seems to be pretty fast. Not the fastest, but really good, really fast. Almost instant. Probably the second best in the world. And that's like a huge thing. Maybe even the best in the world, but I just wish it had haptic feedback. That would have been great. When I use the wrong fingerprint, it obviously doesn't unlock, and still there is no haptic feedback. Usually on most phones, when you use the wrong fingerprint, we get a haptic feedback, but on this phone, it simply says wrong fingerprint. And that too after many attempts. Anyway, now let's test the face unlock feature. So I've turned off the phone, and that's pretty fast. I'm still able to see the lock screen, but just for a split second. So in good lighting conditions, it is insanely fast. like just a split second away, which is more than sufficient. Now I'm going to close my eyes and see if it will work or not. So it's not working. So face unlock doesn't work if you close your eyes, at least right out of the box. Now I'm going to wear my glasses and see if it will unlock or not. And even with my glasses on, it is working and it's pretty fast. Now I've turned off all the big lights. It's like a low lighting condition situation. So even in this kind of lighting situation, it is working. It's not as fast as before, but it is still working even with my glasses on. By the way, this is how the front facing camera looks like. So these are the lighting conditions and it is working pretty well, surprisingly well. So the fingerprint scanner on this phone is super fast, and even the face unlock is super fast. Like, it is really usable. You can use face unlock instead of fingerprint scanner. It is that good. Now for the final test, let's check the speaker loudness of this phone. That sounds pretty good. Now let's check the vocals.
What's up everyone, I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech, and in this video I'll be talking about the best features of Infinix Note 5 stylus along with some important tips and tricks. First I'll be talking about the...
So guys, speaker on this phone is definitely more than sufficient for ringtones, alarms and media consumption, and you also get this pinch to zoom gesture right out of the box. But right out of the box, this area near the notch is completely blacked out, so you're not getting that immersive experience. So let me just try to fix that. So to fix that, go to settings, then select display settings, then select full screen, then select third party aspect ratio, then select YouTube, select full screen. Now once you do that, YouTube will restart. So let me just open YouTube. Now play the same video.
What's up everyone, I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech.
Now we can go full screen. So even while you're playing games, if the area near the notch is completely blacked out, you can go to the display settings, third party applications, and then make that application go full screen by using this setting, which is something you should definitely do. Now another highlighting feature about this phone would be the gestures. So to enable that, go to settings, then select system navigation. From here you can choose navigation gestures. So you can swipe from the left side for control center, swipe from the center for home screen, swipe from the right side to go back, then swipe and hold for recent apps. So here's a quick preview. We're going back. This is for home. This is for recent apps. And then finally, this is for control center. Personally, I like the gestures from MIUI. So guys, this is the new Vivo Y93. The cheapest phone from Vivo with the new water drop notch, a sleeker form factor with the same old Starry Night back panel with a massive 4000 mAh battery. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from Greedy Tech signing off. Have a nice day.